All right, this is the assessment part of our Go program. We're gonna be doing squats for a minute, push-ups for a minute, skaters for a minute, and band pull-aparts for a minute.
Yeah, so we've got all the equipment that you need. Remember, it's a minimalist program, so we have a band for the band pull-aparts. We have a mat to keep everything comfortable, and then we have a stopwatch so that we can time everything.
In this program, you're gonna be timing for 1 minute entirely. At the end of 1 minute, you're recording how many reps you do so that you can see in 1 month that you've made a lot of improvement.
Yeah, so make sure you track this and keep it someplace safe. You can use your phone if you want, whatever works for you. And we're gonna actually do this assessment with you, so just follow along. Okay, so the first one, squat, you're gonna do squats, you're gonna demonstrate it, right?
I'm gonna demonstrate the squats in the proper squat form. These are speed squats, so they're a lot different than in our Activate program. In the Activate program, we're focusing more on stability and corrective exercise. In this, we're focusing more on the strength components and the actual physicality of this assessment.
Yeah, so I'm going to cue him a little bit as we're going through, so that way if you have questions about the squat, and he's going to show you from a front view and also a side view. So if you're not sure about this, just watch him and I'll kind of cue what he is doing here.
All right. 30 seconds in, I'm going to try to switch. So don't hold me to it, but we'll try to get
see how it goes.
As close as possible.
We're actually timing this right now. So ready,
actually, we're not
set.
doing arms up, all right? So remember that.
All right, ready, set, go for it. All right, so you can see here he's going really quick through the movement. This is not a slow progressive squat. We're actually going through, everything's coming up. He's bringing his hands up to the top. His core's activated, pushing through the glutes, and you're gonna notice he's gonna be out of breath when he's trying to explain my push-ups here in a second. So he's at about 20 seconds. He's gonna switch over to the side view so that you can see him here in a second. All right, good, switching over to the side view. All right, we're at 28 seconds here. You can see how his knees do not go past his toes. His hips are coming back, and still he's moving quick through the movement. He's only at 40 seconds, and I hope that he's counting so that he can write this down and track his progress, right? How you doing, Chuck? You're at 48 seconds, 50 seconds. So make sure you can see your timer. That's one of the most important things, right? In 3, 2, 1. Awesome. How many did you get?
I think I had 72.
72. Look, he's got a little sweat right here. Woo-wee. That's what you're looking for. So keep in mind, you don't have to like rush through this. You can rest a little bit. So how'd that feel?
That was tough. I mean, it got my heart rate up. My legs were definitely burning. My hips were burning. Another thing that Parker didn't mention, I was going all the way up at the top.
Yeah.
So you're trying to go all the way down and all the way up. As you can tell, I'm gassed from doing this, so yeah. Have fun with this one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a great assessment.
All right. So we're going right into the push-up assessment. You don't have to go back to back in these. We're actually going to give you about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes in between exercises so that you can recover and put forth your best effort into the next one.
We shouldn't break this up to record, but we want to get it through as fast as possible so that you're not sitting here watching it the whole time.
Yeah, so this next one is going to be the push-ups. So when you're ready, Parker, set and go. Notice how his body is staying nice and straight, nice and flat. He's going to be counting. I'm going to be focusing on the form. Another thing that I see a lot of people not do that Parker's doing a good job at, look, he's coming all the way up at the top of this motion and he's going all the way down. So he's doing full repetitions. These are much better than kind of like your military style or even some of your other timed push-ups. One thing that you want to focus on in this is keeping your core tight and breathing throughout the whole thing. Breathing is a big component of this more aerobic style stuff. We're moving for a full minute, so right now Parker's at about 40 seconds. He's going to pause at the top, and that's the thing that we want you to focus on is pausing at the top and not at the bottom.
I'm going to actually show you a modified push-up here too.
Parker's going to break it down to a modified. So some of the people that don't have the strength to do a full push-up from the toes, this is a very good way to do it. So he's raising his feet up, he's balancing on the knees, he's still keeping his core tight, and he's keeping this back angle nice and straight.
And I still feel this too. I still feel this.
I mean, he went for 1 full minute. How did you get there?
I don't know. I got myself in those, but
he didn't count. So you know what that means? He's got to start over.
I'm not starting over. But even though, even when I modified it to do the modified push-up, I still felt it in my chest because I had 40 seconds of regular ones. It's pretty hard.
Yeah, that's a good point. You don't have to do a full-blown push-up to still feel these properly. So the next one that we're going to be doing is the skaters or the laterals. I've had my 1.5 minutes to rest, so I'm going to be doing these for you guys And again, we're gonna be keeping this going nice and fast for you so that you can see kind of how everything goes, and we're keeping your workouts efficient again. So just pause in between these assessments if you need to, and jump in where you can.
All right, so what you're gonna do here, how did you set that up?
I kind of set this up wider than shoulder width. So where I feel comfortable with my hips being in their fully extended position, with still feeling like I have a nice comfortable base. All right?
So another thing you could do, if you just modify it, you can go a little bit wider than hip width. This is pretty extreme.
Yeah, this is actually wide. I'm trying to punishing myself. Thinking about it, you guys probably should set this up a little closer.
Yeah, that's probably more realistic for most people.
Because I am a more advanced athlete, you could say, and for you guys that are a little more advanced or feel like this is going to be an easy program, go ahead, try it out. I mean, you can see how my ego jumps in there and makes me want to do it.
Always jumps in there. So one thing I'll say too, before he starts this, make sure you know how far you have this apart. So take a picture of it to try to scale it, or just try to remember throughout the program so that you're not coming back and be like, I don't remember how far this was. So make sure you have some sort of scalable thing that you can look at.
And I love this, that I'm sweating. I can't wait to do this actual assessment and program by myself, because I think it's going to be really effective for everybody.
I know it's going to be. All right, ready, set, go for it. What Chuck doesn't know is the timer never started. Because your thing closed out. All right, so this is something we have to deal with in classes. He's probably about 15 seconds in. I started the timer here. Make sure that your home screen doesn't go when you're looking at your own timer.
Yeah, that's a good point. So
you can turn it off.
I want to focus, or I want to point out to you guys, is that you're bringing both feet to the stationary position. So I'm getting both feet on either side of the cone. You can see that I kind of like sped up as I was doing these. And I'm kind of losing count by talking at the same time.
That's okay. So remember, you're going to track it, but here's what he's focusing on. This is a lateral movement. Your hips are engaged. You're going to feel this a lot in your glutes. If you're not used to doing this movement, this is probably the most underutilized movement, side to side. Yeah, not enough people move side to side.
Again, I'm advancing this again by kind of staying balanced here at the top and bringing my foot on the other side of the cone. If you want a little less advanced, just put both feet down.
You're at a minute, by the way. There you go. So again, this is a cardio exercise. You can tell right here, I gave Chuck all the cardio ones because I'm the cardio expert. No,
he's the cardio queen.
Yeah, it's easier for me. But no, for real, this is a great exercise along with those speed squats to really activate the glutes and the lower body. A lot of people just don't know how to do that, and this works very well.
Yeah, we move front to back in a lot of our lifestyle and in most of these motions. So not only side to side is important, but in the twisting motion is important too, which that's what we include in this program. All sorts of different movement patterns in every single direction.
There you go, here's this. So the last thing that we have in this assessment, again, pause it, write down your number, make sure you know what you're doing going into the next one. You're gonna grab a band. You should have this with your program because it is part of the strength component. We utilize bands a lot in the program, and they're really cheap. So if you don't have one yet, go ahead and grab one.
So one thing that Parker did is he wrapped the band around his hand. That's okay to do, especially if you have kind of a grip issue. If you want to work your forearms a little bit more, you would just relieve off of the band and just try to squeeze on your own power.
Yeah, so this is a traditional band. We have no handles whatsoever. You might have handles. If they are swinging around, just put your, depending on what it is, you can usually put your hand through it or just make sure that you grab it and just have the slack. Yeah? Yeah,
so we're going to go for 1 full minute. You want to start by grabbing about shoulder width. So Parker has some pretty broad shoulders, so he's grabbing it pretty narrow, pretty wide. So you ready?
Yep.
Set, and go. So when you're doing this, and what you want to mainly focus on is you're trying to engage the back muscles, not just the arms. So the muscles right in between the shoulder blades, and you're trying to engage and keep the shoulder blades supported. Another thing you're trying not to do is you don't want to like arch the back this way and kind of round forward as you're doing these. You want to stay nice and solid as you're doing the motion. So we're actually going to turn Parker sideways about halfway through this so that you can see his side positioning and make sure that he's not rocking and he's staying in good form also. Again, you're counting these reps to make sure that you have good record of how many you've done through the assessment.
It is hard, by the way.
Yeah, in 1 month,
I'm burning.
You're going to be seeing how many you did. And I mean, you can see Parker had to take a little pause there, partially to turn sideways, but also partially because it burns. So notice
mostly
how he
because
has
it burns.
A good posture, nice and upright. He's bringing his arms to about chest width, so he's bringing them parallel with the shoulders. He has 5 more seconds to go, and you can tell that this is burning. 1 minute. Good job, Parker. Good job, guys. That is a full assessment, and it's only 4 exercises, so it's nice and quick, nice efficient. This video should go through the whole process, and you are ready to start our program.
Good luck with the program, and thank you for supporting us.